Hey everyone, it's Carrie. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing card number 13 in my holiday card series for 2016, and we're going to be using this die set from Simon Says Stamp as well as this die here from MFT. And I'm going to start off by die cutting this panel out of some white cardstock, and I'm going to take my MISTI here and I'm going to be stamping my images because the images I'm using are the two trees, and there's two solid images in this set. So I wanted to get a really good impression onto these panels here. First, before I do that, I'm going to stamp a background, little star background, if you will, onto this little panel, die cut panel, because I'm going to be using both of these little die cut panels that came from the die. I'm going to be inserting them back into the card. So I'm taking this little image here that's got these swirls and stars in it, and I've prepped this panel here to go ahead and emboss it with some Hero Arts brass embossing powder. I haven't used this embossing powder in quite some time, so I thought I would drag it out today. So I'm inking up my stamp with the Versamark ink to get that good and covered. And then I'm going to apply my embossing powder. This is a really pretty, even though it's brass, it's a really pretty, I feel like it's like a deeper gold, more than a brass, but I like this one a lot, and it really does emboss really, really well. So I'm going to make sure that I get this really good and covered, make sure all of those little fine details are covered, and then I'm going to heat set this with my heat tool. As usual, I do it off camera because it's just easier for me to do it that way because where my heat gun is set up at. So I've gone ahead and completed that, and now I'm going to go ahead and stamp down my images. I've got another piece of just scrap white cardstock, and I'm going to just randomly stamp these. No really rhyme or reason to place them onto my cardstock because I'm going to be fussy cutting these out with my scissors. So I don't know why I was kind of putting them in places where it didn't really matter on my cardstock. But as I'm inking up, my intention was to ink up one of the trees, the smallest tree, kind of like an ombre, put it like a deeper green, or a lighter green to a deeper green. But the way that this little tree is designed, it's got this little swirl down the middle of it, and the way I was inking this up, I really didn't like how it turned out. So off camera, I did go ahead and do a restamping of this. So you didn't see this, but it was all I did was just ink it up with my one solid color, not doing the ombre ink or anything like that. And I liked it much better, simply because of the way it's designed. So I did that off camera, and then now I'm going ahead and stamping the bigger tree in some Noble Fir ink. And I like those two, how they turned out, the solid images. I've got this paper pad here, the 6x6 paper pad. This is from last year, and if I can find it, I will link it below. And I really do love this plaid pattern here. I think it really plays well with the colors that I'm using in my card today. And I die cut that from that 6x6 pattern paper, and I'm going to place that over the white die cut that I did before. Simply because this will make it a little bit more substantial, and it will give it a little bit more heft, if you will, whenever I put some foam adhesive on the back. So I'm putting my liquid glue onto the back of this, and I'm going to line it up with that and get that onto there really good and well. And obviously it's die cut from the same die, so it lines up perfectly. So I'm kind of placing my images, kind of seeing how things are coming together with my design. And now I'm going to work on my sentiment. And the sentiment also comes from the same stamp set. This is the Be Joyful sentiment. And I like how the font is kind of big but simple at the same time. I'm going to use that same embossing powder that I used before. I'm going to get that really good and coated. And another reason why I like this embossing powder is that it's really good for detail images and sentiments, and that I feel that this Be Joyful was a little bit more of a detail image, as well as the background that I used there too. So I'm kind of lining up my main die cut panel here, and I'm going to get that into place where I want it, and I'm going to add my liquid glue onto the little die cut white pieces here, and I'm going to insert those onto the card base here. And you'll kind of see as I'm doing this, I'll kind of push those into place. So whenever I go to add adhesive on the back of the main die cut panel, it'll line up perfectly. And that'll leave the guesswork out of lining this up. So now I'm going to go ahead and add some adhesive to my trees. I'm going to apply the bigger one straight down onto my panel. And then I'm going to take my little flat back tweezers here and get that into place and help me get that lined up where I want it. And then I thought I would add some little bit of dimension to the smaller tree. So I'm going to add a little bit of foam dots to the back of that tree. So I'm kind of doing that. I'm kind of adjusting one of those dots there because it was kind of off, a little bit off center of where I wanted it. So I'm going to get that into place where I liked it. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my foam adhesive to the back of the main panel here. And I'm just going to take a really, really long strip of this roll here. My roll is getting used up quickly. So thankfully, though, I have a die cut. I have a backup of my foam adhesive. So I won't be running out anytime soon. So I thought I would go ahead and add a little bit of shimmer to these trees, but just go and use it on the little swirls there and add a little bit of accent to those trees. And I thought after this, I thought I would go ahead and do the inside of the card as well. So I would take that same stamp that I used in the very beginning and do the exact same thing. I'm going to go ahead and emboss this on the inside as well using the exact same embossing powder and everything, kind of get it all matchy if you will, and because I really do like how it kind of ties it all together. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the Happy Holidays sentiment also from the same stamp set and get that into place onto my acrylic block. And I'm going to use the VersaFine Onyx Black ink for this. It's a really great ink for sentiments. And I'm going to get that down, and I've got to really stamp it. Since I'm stamping onto an embossed area, I'm going to make sure that I get that good and pressed down, and that completes the card for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. Here's a little bit of close-up of how it all shimmers and shines. I will catch you all in my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.